Hey, 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 hey. I'm back with a recipe for y'all. This is black eyed peas. I don't know. I had a little bit left of a 15 bean soup, which has black eyed peas in it, but it wasn't a whole lot. And so I just went and bought a bag of black eyed peas and poured it in right along with it. So it's whatever you want it to be, black eyed peas or 15 bean soup, but I believe it's more black eyed peas than 15 bean soup. So anyway, the recipe is, of course, you have to soak your beans overnight. I would suggest soaking them overnight in water. And then once you take them out the next day, you rinse them off because get all the dirt and stuff off of it. Yes, it is dirt that be rinsing off of them beans. So rinse them off really, really well. Then put them in your pot. I just, for my pot, I use a Dutch oven. And let me show you my Dutch oven. So I like using this. It's called the Dutch oven. You can put it in the oven or you can use it on top of the stove. And it's a pretty nice size one. So I just fill the Dutch oven up, the pot up with water, fill it up to the top. I season it. I wouldn't put a whole lot of seasoning in with it because you want to taste it as it cooks. So you add along as it cooks. Or you can use a crock pot and just put it on low and let it cook all day until you're ready for it. The Dutch oven cooks faster than a crock pot, so I really don't use my crock pot anymore. But these actually been cooking since like 1 o'clock. Me and my daughter had to leave out, so I had her turn it on low before she left, and then told her to turn it back up because she got in before me. But I season it with in my stews and soups and stuff. I always use bay leaves. Y'all know my regular seasonings adobo. I normally use pepper, but I found out I didn't have any more. So use pepper and then a little bit of my Himalayan salt, and then season the water up some more. I use chicken bouillon. You can use vegetable, whatever taste that you like, but that's what I use, and they delicious. And then I put 3 small pork ham hock bones, and let me show y'all that. So this is what I use: smoked pork hocks, ham hock bones of meat, and it has some meat on it, but that's what I use. So okay, so that's what I did. I probably used the bouillon. You use to your liking. Like I say, you season it how you like. Everybody has their own taste on, how they like their stuff seasoning. I did pour a tiny bit of sugar in there, and I cut up a red pepper and a shallot. Now, a shallot is a cross between an onion and a garlic. It looks like a huge garlic, but it's more on the onion side, and I like cooking with shallots. So I used a whole shallot. What else did I do? And I just put the cover on it and let it sit. I turned it on high because I was starting so late in the day. I put it on like 4 for maybe about an hour till about ready time I got ready to leave. So it probably was about 2 hours. And then I turned it down to 1, and my daughter turned it down to low. We was going for a couple of hours. So you just let it cook down and stir it up. And then once it's almost finished, I make like a flour, not a paste, but it's loose, where I put like maybe 2 tablespoons of flour and mix it up and make it real loose with water and pour it in because I like it to have a little bit of consistency and not just look watery. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's not thick. It's still soup-like, but I just like for it to, in all of my soups, I add a flour, water type of paste to it, and I just make it really loose so it won't clump up when you pour it into the water. Into your soup or stew. And that's it. You just let it cook for a couple of hours, and then The ham hock bones that get tender, you can break them up. I made some cornbread, as you can see right here, along with my purely sweet tea. And that's it. So again, soak your beans the night before, whatever beans you choose to cook. Soak them the night before in water, let them sit in the refrigerator. Take them out, rinse them off, dump them in the pot, put your ham hock bones or your turkey bones or whatever you want to use. If you don't want to use no bones, that's fine too. Season it up, season up your water, fill the pot up depending on how thick or thin you want it. I like mine's more soupy than more of like a bean mix, so that's why I add a lot of water to it. And let them cook, let them slow cook, and taste it as you go along, and add your cut up your onions, pepper, garlic, whatever you want to put in there. I put a red pepper and a shallot, and just let it cook down for a couple of hours, and voila, taste it as you go along. Add the flour water paste, make it really loose, or depending on how thick you want it. If you want it thick, you need to add more flour. I just want just a little bit of thickness to it, just a tiny bit, not a whole lot, because I don't want it as a side dish. It's my main dish, and I've always made my black eyed peas like this. And of course, it's 15 bean soup if you make soup, so it's a soup. But yeah, and I made some rice. So this is over white rice right here, and that's it. So there you got it, black eyed peas over white rice with your cornbread on the side. Let me see if I can ooh. Let me put my camera down. There you have it. So y'all have a great weekend. Tonight is Thursday. I hope you watched those shows that I talked about in my previous videos. Everybody have a good weekend. Be safe. Until next time, don't forget to give me that thumbs up, and peace.